There is a new report that Donald Trump is spending days workshopping nicknames for Ron DeSantis. Now, I have to tell you, this is not a story about, oh, it's another Trump rumor. This is genuinely a smart thing to do. This is, with where the Republican Party is, coming up with the best possible nickname with which to brand and stigmatize Ron DeSantis is a good use of time for Trump. A lot of the things Trump spends time on are completely useless. But this makes sense. There's an article in The Hill. Trump spends days workshopping nicknames for DeSantis. Former President Trump has made developing nicknames for his Republican rival and potential presidential opponent, Ron DeSantis, a priority as his team works on his 2024 campaign, according to a new Bloomberg report. Trump has floated Ron Dishonest, Ron De-Establishment, and Tiny D as monikers for the Florida governor, but appears to favor Ron DeSanctimonious. Trump coined DeSanctimonious ahead of the midterm elections and shortly before launching his own presidential bid. So let's talk about this. Trump is terrible at a ton of things, as I said earlier. He is good at making fun of people. That's the reality. He's good at nicknaming people. He's good at stigmatizing people. And when you are potentially going to be fighting someone as uncharismatic and seemingly unable to handle your style of attack as Ron DeSantis, one of the best things you can do is nickname him with something that will really titillate and scintillate and hope that he is unable to respond in kind. Now, the problem with DeSanctimonious is I don't think a lot of Republican voters necessarily know what it means. And of course, it is actually accurate, which is when you're sanctimonious, you make a show out of being or appearing morally superior to others. Ron DeSantis does do that. You need only look at his State of the State address from yesterday that he gave in Florida to confirm that. But I don't know that a lot of Republican voters necessarily know what sanctimonious means. So Tiny D is pretty interesting. And there's also this high heels story. This is so insane that this is where the Republican Party is. But Ron DeSantis, for a while, has been wearing I laugh because it's crazy that this is where we are in American politics. DeSantis has been wearing high-heeled cowboy boots for a while, but now there is a new suspicion that he's also wearing lifts inside the boot, which, by the way, Trump is also suspected of wearing. Don't think DeSanctimonious is the only guy doing this. So Ron DeSantis officially is only 5'9", but there are images of him looking as tall as people who are known to be over 6 feet tall. So, of course, the idea would be DeSantis puts a lift inside the boot and then wears a high heel, and then he looks 6'1", and people think he's taller than he actually is. All of this stuff really matters. Tall candidates tend to do better. Now, do they tend to do better because they're tall? Well, that's a different question. We'd have to look at that in a different way. But it wouldn't surprise me if Trump focused in on some kind of nickname that related to DeSantis actually being short. I mean, listen, I'm 5'9" also. 5'7", 5'5". No, I'm 5'9". At least that's what my license says. Let's put it that way. And then, sort of being desperate to be 6 feet tall and wearing high heels and cowboy boots. I don't know where it's going, but it wouldn't surprise me that it goes in that in that direction. Again, I believe that DeSantis is 100% worse than Trump. Adam Schiff had a different feeling yesterday, which was that Trump really is the danger. I think Trump's incompetence actually makes him less dangerous and that he's less able to accomplish things. DeSantis is completely uncharismatic, completely uninspiring as a speaker, but he would pose a real threat of getting some really dangerous stuff done. So if I had to pick, I actually do think the Democratic candidate is better off facing Trump, and the risk of a Trump presidency is lower than that of a DeSantis presidency. Continuing to take opinions from you in the audience about that question.